There's drama brewing between Miley Cyrus and JoJo Siwon. It's getting spicy. Miley has reportedly voiced her disapproval over JoJo's connection with Chris Hughes, and JoJo, she's not staying silent. She's firing right back. On top of that, the internet is buzzing over Billie Eilish, possibly dating Nat Wolff, the guy from the Naked Brothers band. People are losing it. We're also diving into Fletcher's comments about her current love life, the chatter surrounding Clara being seen with a mystery man, and the big one, Glen Powell's ex Gigi Paris finally breaking her silence. She's opening up about all the chaos that happened while Glen and Sydney Sweeney were promoting their film Anyone. But Yuan, she's not holding back. So let's rewind to that Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney situation. The entire internet went into overdrive during the promo tour for their 2023 rom-com. People weren't talking about the film. They were talking about how flirty and close Glen and Sydney looked in interviews, on the red carpet, basically everywhere. Felt like a rom-com was playing out off-screen too, and fans couldn't stop speculating. Were they secretly dating? Was something going on behind the scenes? Here's the kicker: both of them were already in relationships when all of this went down. Glen was dating model Gigi Paris, and Sydney was reportedly engaged to Jonathan Davino. But while the movie was being hyped, it looked like Glen and Sydney leaned into all the romance rumors for publicity. And that's when things crossed the line, according to many fans. People online said that if they were in Gigi or Jonathan's shoes, they'd be hurt. Some called it manipulative and accused the stars of using real relationships for marketing. Soon enough, Gigi unfollowed Sydney on Instagram and dropped a very telling post about knowing when to walk away. The internet instantly read between the lines, and most people believed she was shading Glen and Sydney for taking things too far. Eventually, Gigi and Glen split, which shocked absolutely no one given how messy things had become. And just recently, they were even spotted attending Glen's sister's wedding together, which reignited all the dating rumors again. Even though it was later confirmed they were just friends, the gossip hasn't died down. But now Gigi's finally speaking out. She appeared on the Too Much podcast this week and laid it all out. She said watching Glen and Sydney act all lovey-dovey during the press tour was devastating, especially when he didn't step forward to clear up the cheating talk. Gigi said she desperately wanted Glen to publicly say, "Hey, I'm not cheating on my girlfriend." But that moment never came. Instead, it looked like they were fueling the fire just to sell more tickets. That, she said, felt like a huge betrayal. In the end, Gigi had to make the painful decision to walk away because she felt disrespected, used, and left out of the narrative completely.
Hatte zwei Möglichkeiten. Ich konnte entweder so tun, als ob ich mit allem einverstanden wäre, und alle fragen sich, haben sie was miteinander oder nicht? Ist sie damit einverstanden? Was ist los? Oder ich musste für mich selbst einstehen und sagen, nein, ich bin damit tatsächlich nicht einverstanden und ich gehe. Also beschloss ich, das zu tun. Wenn man einfach nur einstehen und sagen muss, nein, ich würde meine Freundin niemals betrügen, dann würde ich das nicht tun. Mehr musste ich nicht sagen. Und das war nicht traurig. Nicht ein einzig.
I can only imagine how heartbreaking it must be to have your partner basically say, "I'm not going to clear the air and tell the public I'm not cheating, because it benefits me to let them think otherwise." I mean, that's not a direct quote, but that's basically the message Gigi Paris tanned. That's tough. Even if it wasn't said word for word, the meaning was clear, and that would be soul-crushing. If I were in her shoes, I'd feel completely betrayed and probably have no choice but to walk away too. It's a lot to process. So yeah, I feel for Gigi End. A lot of people are actually applauding her for speaking up on the podcast. She deserved to be heard, and hopefully she ends up with someone who doesn't hesitate to shut down rumors anyway. Speaking of messy relationship drama, there's a lot going on right now. It's been a pretty wild Pride Month, and the internet has been super loud about how many queer women are in relationships with men. The whole thing really blew up with JoJo Siwa. She kind of kicked off this viral wave when she went from dating Kath S2 striking up a relationship with Chris Hughes. It all spiraled after her appearance on Big Brother, where she was seen getting a little flirty with Chris while still with Kath. That didn't sit right with people. After the show, JoJo and Kath split, and later JoJo confirmed she was dating Chris, which sent the internet into chaos. A lot of fans started trolling JoJo hard over her relationship status, especially because she'd been so open about her identity. On Big Brother, she shared that she was in the middle of figuring herself out, that while she once identified as a lesbian, she realized she was actually queer. But people were quick to criticize, especially with the timing. Some fans were like, "Not JoJo announcing she's with a man at the start of Pride Month, and the backlash hasn't really stopped since, and JoJo's not alone." This whole trend of backlash hit Billie Eilish too. Just recently, photos of Billie kissing Nat Wolff surfaced online. That Nat from the Naked Brothers bandan people were stunned. Duma dropped the pics, and social media erupted. Fans were saying things like, "Wait, Billie, I thought she liked the ladies." Even though she's dated men before, it still came as a surprise to a lot of people. Some folks were even joking that Pride Month was ruined by so many queer women going straight for the summer. It's clearly a hot topic online, and the conversation expanded to include Fletcher as well. She's now getting flack after dropping a new song called Boy, where she talks about having feelings for a man. Some listeners felt blindsided, especially since Fletcher's previous music focused only on women. She's openly identified as queer and attracted to all genders since 2021, but her songs have built a strong lesbian following. So when Boy dropped especially, during Pride months, some fans took it personally. The track even feels like a confession, almost like she's apologizing for falling for a guy. Fletcher seemed to anticipate this reaction too, because she addressed it directly with a TikTok, clapping back at the criticism and standing by her identity and her song.
Die für diesen Song bekommen hat. Ich bin queer, war es immer und werde es bis zu meinem Tod bleiben. Ich habe Frauen geliebt, liebe sie und werde sie immer lieben, egal ob Mann, Frau oder einfach Mensch an meiner Seite. Es spielt keine Rolle, mit wem ich ausgehe oder in welcher Beziehung ich bin. Ich werde immer queer sein. Das war kein Song, der eine Beziehung um einen Mann zentriert. Er sollte die Komplexität meiner queeren Erfahrung und ihre Nuancen in den Mittelpunkt stellen und dass das nicht unbedingt auf eine bestimmte Art und Weise aussehen muss. Wenn sich jemand in der Vergangenheit von mir und meiner Musik gesehen oder repräsentiert gefühlt hat, dann nehme ich das nicht auf die leichte Schulter. Und wenn du dich dadurch, dass ich diesen Song oder dieses Lied geteilt habe, entwertet gefühlt hast oder entwertet gefühlt hast, dann ist das nicht meine Absicht. Und das war nie meine Absicht. Ich bin Songwriterin und Künstlerin und habe immer über meine Liebesgeschichten, meine Beziehungen, meinen Herzschmerz, meine Verluste und meine Liebschaften geschrieben. Mir ist völlig bewusst, dass es nicht mutig und nicht beängstigend ist, in diesem politischen Klima und dieser Welt, in der wir uns gerade befinden, mit der Welt im Allgemeinen über eine heterosexuelle Beziehung zu sprechen. Ich weiß, das Teilen ist nicht beängstigend. Angst machte mir vor allem der Gedanke, es mit meiner Community und meiner Welt zu teilen, in der die Leute mich nur auf eine bestimmte Art und Weise kennengelernt und erlebt haben. Ich hatte große Angst, dass ich die Leute enttäuschen und dass meine Queerness nicht queer genug sein würde. Aber es hat die Tür zu einer breiteren Diskussion geöffnet und ich begrüße den Diskurs darüber. Meine gesamte Karriere ist darauf ausgerichtet, sichere Räume zu schaffen, in denen Menschen sich zeigen und authentisch sie selbst sein, sich selbst feiern und in jedem Moment die Person sein können, die sie sind. Ich habe nicht die Absicht, jemandem in dieser Community, für die ich bis zu meinem Tod eintreten werde, Schaden zuzufügen oder ihn zu verletzen. Als ich meinen Instagram-Account archivierte, wollte ich in keiner Weise meine sichere Identität als Fletcher auslöschen. Ich liebe alle Frauen, die ich war. Ich archiviere meinen Instagram-Account vor neuen Veröffentlichungen, löscht aber nichts von mir. Ich werde mich nicht plötzlich Carrie nennen. Ich bin immer noch Fletcher.
Considering the kind of responses other queer female celebs are getting lately, it's not surprising Fletcher may have expected some backlash when she dropped that track. Clairo, for instance, found herself in a similar situation recently. Factions posted a candid snap of her with a guy, reportedly taken at Addison Rae's show at the Box. The caption read, "Clairo spotted with a mystery man." The comments came flooding in, people saying things like "day ruined" and "not a man, please." While some of these replies are clearly meant to be funny, there are plenty of fans genuinely upset to see women they viewed as queer icons dating men. That being said, others have stepped in to point out that being in a relationship with a man doesn't invalidate someone's queer identity. Which brings us to the whole Miley Cyrus and JoJo Siwa situation. At DC Pride, Miley made a cheeky comment referencing JoJo's new relationship with Chris. Hughes joking that she needed to pull JoJo out of the closet.
Miley, ich will dir nur sagen, dass ich eine tolle Freundin habe. Ist es ein Monat? Sollte ein Jahr sein. Es sollte unendlich sein. Okay, ich gehe zurück zu dem Ort, an dem du Jojo Siwa findest. Bring ihn zurück. Und
JoJo didn't ignore it. She took to Instagram and posted a photo of her and Miley saying, "I was living my best life at my 5th birthday party with a Miley theme, and here I am at 22 still happy." She explained that Miley has always been her role model since she was a toddler. JoJo admitted that the joke initially threw her off, and it took a few days for her to process it all. Ultimately, she said she doesn't think Miley meant any harm, just that the joke didn't land. JoJo shared that she messaged Miley in a friendly way, and Miley responded warmly, with all love always. JoJo reflected on how much she's grown, saying one of the most valuable lessons she's learned is that love comes in all colors and shapes, and shouldn't be questioned or judged. She added that being content with who you are matters more than any outside opinions, and urged others to live their truth fully and freely. Now, I do kind of wish JoJo had clapped back with a witty one-liner, maybe something spicy like, "Well, Miley, come get me then." Especially since JoJo's been leaning into her bangers era lately and finally got that public moment with Miley. But still, you can tell she was hurt. Despite that, she handled it with maturity and grace, recognizing it as a joke gone sideways. So yeah, this Pride Month has been chaotic, to say the least. Between Miley's joke, JoJo's heartfelt reply, the reactions to Billie Eilish, Fletcher, and Claro dating Manitz, been a wild ride. And let's not forget the whole Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney situation either. With Glenn's ex finally breaking her silence. Let me know what you guys think about all of it. Miley's joke, JoJo's response, the internet's reaction. 2. Billie, Fletcher, Claro, and everything surrounding Glenn and Sydney. Drop your thoughts in the comments.